Hey everyone, how are we? Just doing a quick all signs reading today. We are going to be looking at your person, specifically their feelings towards you and the connection. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date with everything going on the channel. If you do go back to that no contact reading that was the one prior to this and leave a comment on that video, you will go in the draw to win a free personal reading, but that is exclusive to that video only. So make sure you do leave a comment on the no contact video and subscribe so you can stay up to date if you are the winner. Today we are going to be using the Love Angels Oracle, and I also have the Art Nouveau Lenormand. Okay, so as always, timestamps will be in the description box, and we're going to start today with Aries. Okay, Aries, your person's true feelings towards you and this connection. Aries, how does your person feel about you and the connection? Okay, so we do have leave your fears behind coming through first there, Aries. They are stopping this relationship from blossoming. So, you know, your fears about what will or will not eventuate within this connection, you know, they are stopping this from, you know, blossoming into something significant here. We do have separation coming through there as well. So some of you already are in separation. Others of you, there is kind of the need to separate for a moment in time, whether that's, you know, like a break, someone's going on a holiday, working away, that sort of stuff, or it's just that emotional distance, just needing to distance ourselves from the situation so that we can get a hold on these fears, you know, and really work out how we can leave our fears behind. Because, you know, quite often with love stuff, you know, the things that we fear happening, you know, afraid that someone might push us away or reject us and all those sorts of things, you know, you're needing to separate yourself from those fears more so than this person, but you may need to, you know, just create a little bit of distance between yourself and this person in order to do so. But we'll have a look with the Lenormand here, Aries. And there are, I'm picking up, there are quite a few of you who are in actual separation already. And that's, you know, your fear has led to that separation. And, you know, in order to actually make this connection blossom anew, you do need to leave those fears behind and leave the separation behind, kind of thing. Aries, your person's true feelings towards you. So yeah, it kind of does sort of let us know that your person does feel as though you are the reason for the separation, and you are the one with the fears here. They feel like they want to see you. We have the garden coming through first. They want to get on the same page with you. They want to sort of meet you halfway, compromise with you, you know, have some sort of a sit down meeting kind of thing with you. They want to go on a date. That is my date card. They feel like they need to spend time with you, basically. They need to, you know, whether it's just having a coffee and a chat, or, you know, actually getting out and going on like a walk together, and, you know, that sort of a thing, spending time outdoors together, spending time, you know, in public together, doing things together. They feel as though that would actually really help the connection just in general. We do have the birds coming through there as well, so definitely wanting that sit-down chat, wanting to have a conversation. They're wanting, you know, they're feeling as though a choice needs to be made. We have the road there as well, so they do feel as though there is a conversation needing to happen and a choice needing to be made in regard to this connection. So for a lot of you, that is, you know, choosing to come back into, you know, like obviously out of separation. Others of you, you know, needing to make that choice to take a bit of time apart and then come back together and work out whether that really is, you know, something we're going to do as a temporary thing or a longer term separation there. There's definitely the need to sort of sit down and have a chat, and get everything out on the table, and you know, make a decision one way or another where we want this connection to go. Okay, so that's what we have for you today, Aries. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to Taurus. Okay. Okay, Taurus. Taurus, your person's true feelings towards you and this connection. Taurus, how does your person feel towards you and the connection, please? Whoa, okay. You are enough. Okay, and that one flew on out. I wanted to be known that you are enough. The person you're meant to be with will love you the way you are. You don't need to change. So they think that, you know, you are absolutely perfect just the way that you are, Taurus, that they're kind of like, you are more than enough for me. You are everything that I want. You know, you never need to change. This is amazing. This is perfect kind of energy. We also have deepening coming through there, Taurus. A relationship will finally deepen in the next few months. You've been waiting for this. So they do feel as though they do want to sort of delve a little bit deeper with this connection, connect a little bit deeper emotionally with you. Clarifying this energy for Taurus. Taurus, your person's true feelings towards you. They kind of feel... Firstly, we have the whip coming through here, Taurus. So it's like there's a confliction here, like some drama, a bit of an argument happening here within your person and their feelings towards you. And I feel like that's why, you know, they want you to know that you are enough, because I feel like it's more to do with you and your self-worth, and that's what leaves them feeling tension and drama towards you, that they feel as though, you know, because with that you are enough, and then seeing the whip coming through here, it's kind of like they're like beating themselves up about the fact that they can't seem to get you to believe that you are enough. That they want to tell you this so much, and it's like it causes them trouble. It causes them tension within their own self, that you don't 100% believe that, and you know, have some self-worth issues or confidence type issues, where you maybe question them a little bit about their true feelings towards you. They just feel as though you're holding back a little bit here, Taurus. We do also see the mountain followed by the fox. So they do feel as though there is a little bit of a blockage here, you know, because of that. And that, you know, with the mountain, it's very interesting. It's kind of like, even though they feel as though there is some blocks or delays, or they're having to take things very slowly with you, they do kind of feel as though they're willing to put in the work. They're really wanting to put in the work here, and they're wanting to make that effort to, you know, get through these blockages and any obstacles or delays in the connection. They're wanting to really, you know, work through it and you know, persevere, and they're very determined to persevere with this connection. They have a lot of, you know, willing to put in the work energy there. With the fox there is an energy of them feeling as though they kind of need to show you that they are able to take care of things, that they can do what needs to be done for the connection, that they're willing to do the work, you know, but they're also, they feel as though they need to sort of show you that they are very strong, like in a survival sense, that they'll do anything to make sure the connection survives. They feel as though you yourself are very independent and capable, very intelligent as well. And so they kind of feel the need to prove that to you about themselves as well. The only issue I feel here is that, you know, this person does seem to be a little bit conflicted about how to get certain things across to you and how to put in the work. For some of you here, they may come across sometimes as a little bit as though they're trying to be manipulative. It's not that they're being manipulative, it's that they're doing what needs to be done, that they feel as though that's what needs to be done. They're sort of taking matters into their own hands. They're playing the game to win, I suppose, in a kind of weird way. They're feeling like they have to be very clever about how they approach things. So it's kind of that energy of, just the way that sometimes it's because it's not feeling like necessarily a bad thing. It's just, it's the way you would approach, a young child, where sometimes you need to approach them with tactic rather than being able to just out and out say this. You need to approach a young child with tactic and think about how you approach them very carefully. Like, I'm just trying to think of an example there. Like, if you're trying to get a child to eat broccoli, for example, sometimes you just need to be a little bit tactical and clever about the way that you're doing that and the way that you're introducing that into their diet, because, a lot of kids will look at broccoli and go, ew, broccoli, I don't want it. And so, you might be having to sneak it into spaghetti sauce, or, add it into foods that they can't necessarily see the broccoli, or you might be really being clever about the way that you approach the idea of broccoli. Like, we're not going to call it broccoli, we're going to call it, little trees or something like that. So it's the tactical approach. They're trying to be tactical and strategize how to approach you better so that they can deepen this connection, Taurus. It's not necessarily a bad thing. They're just somebody who is just very tactical by nature, I feel, for a lot of you here. But that's what we have for you. You're more than welcome to cross-watch or, check out your other placements as well. Subscribe to the channel and we will move on over to Gemini. Okay, Gemini, your person. How does your person feel towards you and the connection? Gemini, how does your person feel towards you and this connection? Very interesting. We have the different paths card coming through first. You're not on the same page with this person you have in mind. The directions you want to move are very different. So, but it's very interesting because we also have the magnetic connection. All right. There's a very strong pull and intensity that draws you to this person. So they feel like overwhelmingly drawn to you here, Gemini, but ultimately they do feel as though we have different goals for our futures in mind here, that you may be very driven in one direction and they're very driven in another direction. That, this can talk about differences, like you may want children and they don't. You may be very strictly on one belief system and they are on a different one. So there's just some important difference that this person kind of feels that, in the long run, this might not work, because even though we are crazy for each other and drawn to each other like nothing, there is some sort of fundamental difference that may steer us in different directions. Like one of us might, especially, I'm picking up strongly here, someone might have the 5-year goal of they're going to move away to a certain place, and that's their long-term goal, is they're going to move overseas, and that's not the other person's goals. The other person doesn't want to move. They prioritize staying close to family and things like that. So, it just feels as though there's something that in the future is going to pull us apart. No matter how crazy we are for each other and drawn to each other we are, it does feel like there is, it could just be fear for some of you as well, but it does feel as though there is some sort of difference between the two of you where, it kind of feels as though that even though we're drawn together, that we will eventually be drawn apart. Gemini. Gemini, how does your person truly feel towards you, Gemini? Yeah, okay, so firstly we have the key coming through. So the key talks about different options, different opportunities that we have available to us. And this is where I think the different paths are coming through, because we also have the lily there, which is the long-term energy, and then we have the child. So, you know, somebody is like, you know, long-term, somebody is going to grow apart from me in long-term. Somebody has all these other opportunities that they're going to, you know, move into, start different adventures away, you know, they have more opportunities, you know, long term than to have other adventure in life than what the other person has. You know, somebody might be very restricted in some kind of a way to, you know, where we live, you know, what jobs we're suitable for, you know, all these sorts of different things. Some just different goal sets, really, you know, because the different doors that people are walking through, you know, different adventures that somebody's on here. They do feel as though it does look as though it's more likely that you have multiple opportunity, that you have more opportunity in the long term to you know, and for some of you, we're definitely seeing long term that they feel as though you want children, and they may not. So I'm definitely picking that up there as well. So it's kind of talking about, you know, needing to really discuss our long-term opportunities here, and the long-term opportunity of, you know, can we make this adventure work together? Can we align with these things, you know, or not? Because there is a lot of kindness towards each other, you know, in that energy there. But there's also, you know, it just feels as though, you know, they feel as though you have way more opportunities in everything in your life, and that you're not, it feels like you're not someone who would shy away from opportunity. Whereas I feel like this person is, you know, maybe not thinking the long term through properly, because the child could also talk about an immaturity of the way that this person is viewing the long term with you. Um, it's kind of feeling like there's some presumption happening here as well for some of you, that they haven't actually talked about this with you, that they're just presuming that, you know, you said when I get the opportunity to travel that I'm going to take it, and then they don't want to do that. That's not in their long-term goals. So they've just sort of taken that as gospel, and they're not actually sitting down and talking to you about it and getting on the same page with you about this. So they may be being a little bit innocent or naive about the potential futures here, and the potential opportunities that you can create together. Um, it just feels as though they're just sort of presuming that you're both on very different paths and that it's not going to work, without actually doing what might be necessary to make it work, if that kind of makes sense. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements. It might give you a little bit of extra information about what's going on there. You know, cross-watch this person's placements as well. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to Cancer. Okay, Cancer, your person's true feelings towards you and this connection. Cancer, your person's true feelings towards you and the connection. Unrequited feelings. There's not enough love to keep this relationship going in a healthy way. So this person does feel as though one of you has more feelings, or a greater depth of feelings than the other. They do feel as though that's them, that feels more for you than you may feel for them. It's not telling me whether it's the case or not, but that's how they feel, that they have a greater depth of emotion towards you than you have for them. It could be their fears. It could be, you know, it may not be true, but this is how they feel. Okay. Redirect your thoughts. So they do need to do some maybe work, I feel, on the way that they think, in a negative sense here. They may be projecting a little bit. Focus on what you want to attract in this relationship, not what you fear will happen. So I think that, it seems like that's coming more so from their fears, that they fear that they care more about you than you care about them. So it kind of feels like they just need some reassurance or some guidance to help redirect their themselves on their fears a little bit here, that if you do care about them, to let them know, kind of thing, because they have this fear that you don't. Cancer, your person's feelings towards you and this connection. They definitely feel like you're the one. We have the lily coming through first. Long term. They feel like this is long term. They feel like this is a long term connection. This is the sort of connection that I want to grow old together with you, kind of energy coming through there. They do feel as though, they may be a little bit, once again, it's feeling like they feel as though they've maybe been very vulnerable emotionally. And it's just, once again, not sure if you are emotionally as vulnerable as they are in the situation. Because we do see the mountain there as well, so it kind of feels like the emotional availability between the two of you, that there may be some blockages or obstacles that they're having to circumvent with you, in order to understand your emotion for them a little bit more, or it kind of feels like they perceive you as somebody who is a little bit blocked emotionally, that you maybe have not displayed emotion as much as they feel as though they have. But they're willing to put in the work. They're willing to put in the work because they see you as long term. So it's kind of like, well, this is just a little bump in the road. Let's just get over this mountain and work together, and we'll get through it, sort of thing. It just feels like, it kind of feels like they just more so feel that emotions are very delayed when it comes to you, that you struggle to be emotional with them. We also have the cross, though, because once again, it just feels as though that blockage, that delay, is kind of coming from you having other responsibilities. You may have other things that are going on in your life outside of this connection, and they kind of feel as though that's part of what's leading these, like, making these blockages, these delays in the connection, because you seem to be a bit more focused on having your responsibilities met, whereas they seem to be a little bit more focused on the emotionality of the connection. And it's kind of like they're saying to me, put everything in reality aside, so that we can just have that emotional connection. Whereas you're very much like, no, hang on, I need to sort reality out, so, and then I can worry about the emotional connection. It just kind of feels like, they want the emotions before they worry about the material world, whereas you are very focused on the material world, and you're like, well, the emotions can develop a bit more after that. Just got some stuff to deal with. You may have, I'm picking up that some of you have children that you're, that's one of your responsibilities. You're trying to make sure that responsibility is coming first, whereas they're kind of like, no, but I want the emotional availability to come first. But, ultimately, that is a sense of destiny, that they do feel as though they are very destined, and there is a spiritual and emotional connection to you that they have. They do feel as though there is a strong, intimate kind of soul connection with you, that they wish to have that in their life long term. So it is a very destiny, fate kind of energy that this person feels towards you. So I would sort of dare say that they do feel like you are the one. They're just worried that you don't feel like they are the one. So, just keep that in mind. But that's what we have for you. You are more than welcome to check out your other placements or cross-watch your person's placements as well. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to Leo. Okay, Leo, your person's true feelings towards you and the connection. Leo, your person's true feelings towards you and the connection. I kind of really like this for you, Leo. Very kind of sweet energy I'm picking up from your person. They are the one. So they think that you are the one. You have already met the romantic partner you seek. Leo, you're the one I've been looking for. I feel like you are the one. Nothing has gone wrong. My life has gone so perfectly well. Nothing has gone wrong because I've met my Leo. Trust the process. This connection is divinely timed. So there is something. It does feel like something in particular. They are just waiting for it to feel like the right time. So it's. I'm not exactly sure what that is, Leo. It's just there's something something that your person wants to bring towards you that. It's like they're just waiting for the right time to tell you that or give you that or something along those lines. But they do feel as though, absolutely nothing has gone wrong. My life is going perfectly how it's supposed to because I met my Leo. I could definitely pick up on that. Leo, your person's feelings towards you and this connection. Long term, you're the one. You're the one I want to grow old with. I feel very, connected to you emotionally. We also have the tree. I'm ready to grow old with you, Leo. I know that, any growth or healing, we're going to do it together. It's a very togetherness kind of, intimacy connection that you're part of me and I'm part of you. We are, it's family tree. It's, shelter from the storm. It's connection. There's definitely a destined connection kind of vibe coming through there. We also have the masculine coming through. So, not only are the emotions very strong coming from your person here, but, it's the logical decision for them too. It makes sense to them. It's logical. They're, even when they take their emotions out of it, Leo is logic, rationality. That's, I'm in charge of. They feel like you're in charge actually with the masculine. They feel like you are very in charge of, how this is growing and healing and moving forward. And seems like they're, nothing has gone wrong. They're happy for that to be the case. It feels like they will step up and take charge when you need them to, but it's kind of like you're in charge of when that happens, Leo. It does feel like they feel as though, you are the logical boss of the connection, if that kind of makes sense. They defer to you in a lot of, especially when it comes to emotions. It's kind of like they put you before themselves a little bit here, Leo, to be honest. But that's what we have for you today, Leo. You are more than welcome to check out your other placements or cross-watch your person's placements and subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to our Virgos. Okay, Virgo, your person's true feelings towards you and this connection. Virgo, your person's feelings towards you and the connection. Ooh, Virgo. Open your eyes. If someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. They feel as though there is something that has happened or been said that has kind of made them see this connection a little bit differently. That something has kind of opened their eyes to the truth of who you are and where this relationship is going, and that we have different beliefs or something along that line. We have the different paths card there as well. You're not on the same page with this person you have in mind. The directions you want to move into are different. So it just kind of feels like something has kind of opened their eyes to make them realize that you want different things from life and from this connection than what they want. That there's some sort of difference that we have that is going to take, steer us in different directions. For some of you, it may be to do with children, that, one of you may want children and the other doesn't. One of you may, want, the marriage and children kind of thing and the other one doesn't. One of you might be I'm picking up one of you is very maybe career focused and wanting to focus on career. It could be a lot of different things. It just kind of feels as though this, because I'm picking up this energy that, this is very, very recent. Something has happened that has kind of made them realize that they feel as though this may not work long term. That there's just some sort of difference between the two of you, belief systems or something. Because, and I'm picking up for some of you here, Virgo, that it's kind of their fault because, they came into this thinking, oh, I can change them. That there's something that they knew from the start that was a part of who you are and where you're going in this life. And, because I'm picking up for some of you, it's like something that you do, like that you're very focused on work. For, I'm going to use that as the example here because I am also picking up here, but I don't want to sort of push you too hard on that, Virgo, that for some of you, it's because you have an addiction of some sort that this person was thinking to themselves, oh, it's okay, I will get them to quit, and you haven't. And they're like, oh, I knew this from the start, that they had this thing that they did, but I thought I could change it, but I can't. But for a lot of you, it's to do with work. Like, as they met you, you were very career focused when they met you, and they thought, oh, it's okay, once XYZ happens, Virgo will calm down and settle down and won't be away working all the time. But you haven't. You've shown them that that's what you want to do. And all of a sudden they're kind of realizing, oh, I can't change Virgo. This is the person I signed up for. So I can't change that. That, like, I should have realized that, that it's just something has made them sort of come to the realization. It feels like the realizations only happened relatively recently as well. Virgo, your person's true feelings towards you and this connection. Yeah, they think you care about money more than them. We have the fish coming through first. They feel like you care more about money and abundance and wealth than you care about them and your relationship with them. That you are very materialistic. I'm not saying that you are, Virgo, and I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that if you are. But it does. It seems to be to do with, very work focused and career focused. And that's more important to you than this connection. And it's not even that it's more important to you than this connection. It's that it's important to you, full stop. It's not saying the connection's not important. It's just saying that my career is something that I that's one of my things that I have importance in. And, I want to be wealthy. I want to be abundant in my life. And this is how I feel that. And, there's nothing wrong with that at all, Virgo. But this person just doesn't see it matching with what they are, they aspire to in the future. Because it's kind of like they want you to settle down, I feel, for a lot of you. We have the ship here as well. So, you know, you're moving forward in career. They feel as though you're, you know, just off on your own adventure, and that you're moving forward and that you're not sort of stopping for them, that you're just wanting to, you know, focus on yourself. Well, it's not that you want to focus on yourself even. It's that you know, for some of you, you want to travel and you want to, you know, move to this place or that place, and you just want to keep moving forward when it comes to, you know, your money and your abundance and your reality. Whereas it feels like this person is kind of happy to just sit back and, you know, they're not that way inclined. They're happy to just cruise through life and not push themselves, whereas you seem to be more pushing yourself to do better and keep moving forward and keep doing better and, you know, get more promotions on top of, you know, whatever, go higher and higher in your career. Whereas this person's very happy to just meh it out for the rest of their kind of life. We do see the rider there as well. So there is also an energy that they kind of, it feels like a fear, to be honest, of theirs, that they do feel as though you're going to move on without them, that you're going to, you know, ride off into the sunset and leave them in the dust because they're on this level, meh, and you're like continually climbing and moving forward. And they're only just sort of realizing that and recognizing that difference, that there is that difference between the two of you, and they feel as though that you're going to leave them behind kind of energy, and that it's only a matter of time before Virgo says, news, I'm following this, I'm chasing this adventure, I'm going here, I'm doing that. And they just sort of have to be either along for the ride or miss out altogether on the connection and you. Okay, Virgo, so that's what we have for you. Sorry if that's not what you wanted to hear, but you are more than welcome to check out your other placements. Cross-watch your person's placements as well. Make sure you do subscribe, and we will move on over to Libra. Okay, Libra, your person's true feelings towards you and this connection. Libra, your person's true feelings towards you and the connection. Okay, so firstly we have balance coming through here, Libra. There needs to be a healthy balance of physical, emotional, and spiritual intimacy for a relationship to be sustainable. So they are wanting more balance to come into the connection in some way, shape, or form. I can kind of straight away see that it's coming from this energy as well, the love your shadow energy, accepting and working with the flaws in yourself so that you can learn to accept others as they are. So they do kind of feel as though that's part of what will bring balance to this connection, is you doing a bit of your shadow work, Libra. There's some stuff about yourself that it's kind of telling me the example of, you know, things trigger people because it triggers something within them. So they kind of feel as though there's something that triggers you in the connection, or something that they do or say that triggers you, but that it's something that you actually need to work through, that it's something to do with something within yourself, your shadow element, that makes you see that as a flaw in them because you're uncomfortable with that within yourself. So a bit of an interesting energy there. It's kind of like they're just wanting you to come into balance with yourself, so that you can accept something about them in a way, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense, Libra. Libra, your person's true feelings towards you and this connection. We have the letter coming through first, followed by the house. Okay, so they do feel as though you are very good at expression and communicating with them about the things that would make you feel more secure and stable within the connection. I am picking up a bit of energy that this may be that love your shadow energy, that you feel very comfortable with your own expression, but you may not be completely comfortable with their expression, if that kind of makes sense. That the way that they communicate, or something that they're trying to communicate, that you have no drama communicating your side of things. But I don't mean to sound harsh, but they feel as though you have no trouble expressing your opinion, but you have trouble listening and understanding theirs. Okay. um with the house there, though, there is a strong sense of family with this connection. Strong sense of, this is home, this is my safe zone, this is where I am free to express myself. And they want you to understand that a little bit more, Libra, that they feel safe with you, and that's why they express themselves. And it just seems to trigger you in some kind of a way here. We also have the mice coming through here. So there's an energy here of, they do feel as though you are the element that sometimes takes peace from the home because you stress too much, that you focus on past mistakes and things like that too much. So they do feel as though maybe there's certain things where you bring up the past too much, and you just overly stress, and that you take away from your own sense of security because you're too focused on the past and things that they may have done or said in the past, and you sort of take that too muchly to heart, and you put too much stock in the past rather than focusing on the future. You allow the past to sort of stress you out, and maybe even bring it up in arguments and things like that. So it kind of, once again, it's this person wanting to find balance here, where we're not troubled by the past within the connection, that we're both sort of on the same page moving forwards. Okay. I do feel as though your person is a very, let's drop it and move on kind of person, that they, whereas you seem to be someone who needs to go over things more than they do. They're very move. Whereas you're very, no, hang on, we need to stop and stress about that first. We need to go over that. And it's sort of, things eat away at you that have happened in the past. And it just sort of eats away at you, and is stressing you out about things happening now, things that have happened in the past, if that makes sense. I hope that made sense, Libra. For some reason, it's just feeling as though I'm not, there does seem to be some sort of difficulty with expression and communication between the two of you. Even though you both feel as though you're very good communicators, there does seem to be a bit of a, just, I'm not sure if what I'm saying is getting through. I'm not sure if what I'm saying is being understood in the way that I'm presenting it. If that makes, see, once again, if that makes sense, because it's like someone needing reassurance. Does that make sense, Libra? Are you hearing what I'm saying? Do you understand where I'm coming from? That kind of energy. But you are more than welcome to check out your other placements. Check their placements if you would like as well. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to Scorpio. Scorpio, your person's true feelings and towards you and the connection. Scorpio, your person's feelings towards you and this connection. Unrequited feelings, Scorpio. There's not enough love to keep this relationship going in a healthy way. We also see free yourself. You don't need to be in control of everything for a love relationship to be successful. So this person does feel as though you are a little bit controlling, Scorpio, or that it's not that you're controlling, it's that you feel the need to be in control of yourself all the time, that you struggle to, just let go and just go with the flow, or that it's kind of that energy of you find it very hard to just let loose emotionally. You're very strictly, holding back emotion. I'm sort of getting that you're holding back. They feel as though you're holding back a lot of emotion, and that's where this unrequited feelings energy is coming from. That they do feel as though they express a lot more love and emotion than you do, and so it's left them kind of feeling that they care more than you do, that they love you more than you love them, kind of thing. That it's a little bit one-sided here. So they're wanting you to sort of let loose and be more open emotionally. Scorpio, your person's feelings towards you and this connection. Scorpio, this person's feelings towards you and this connection. Firstly, we have the garden. It kind of flicked out funny, like made itself very known. This is the dating card. This person, feels as though they want to be more interactive with you. They want to, meet up with you for coffee, go for a stroll through the park, get out in public and be seen together and do things together and, go on cutesy little dates. And I do feel as though this person is just wanting a lot more cutesy kind of energy from you, Scorpio. To be honest, they're wanting a little bit more, the dating stuff, the feeling wanted and feeling seen in a way where it's like you're trying to impress them with your feelings. So they're wanting it to be a bit more publicly known that you do have feelings for them. That this is the energy of, they're wanting you to give them roses, or wanting you to, make some sort of public declaration that you care. Because it's kind of like they're in a bit of doubt that you do. To be honest, that they feel as though you hold back so much that they just want you to kind of let loose and just go for it on a bigger scale. Um, but it's cutesy kind of energy. Like they want you to show them through actions how you feel. Like, let's go on a little picnic. Let's go on go and do something together and take action towards wanting to be with them and wanting to show them that you care about them. And we also have here the anchor followed by the lilies. Okay, so the lilies does show us that there is a lot of long-term energy here. This person does feel as though this is a long-term thing. The anchor kind of tells us too that I'm not going anywhere. They feel as though they're not wanting to go anywhere. They're stuck on you is the phrase that's sort of rattling around there. They're very stuck on you. They want to show you that you can rely on them, you can depend on them, that you can, for the long term, the long haul, that they're not just going to, disappear. So they want you to be a little bit more emotional, and trust them, I suppose, a little bit more emotionally with your emotions, because they want to be that shoulder that you can cry on, that thing that can weather, like, hold you steady throughout any storm that comes your way. They're ready to do that for you. They're ready to be that reliable energy for you, where you can express yourself emotionally, and be very, intimate with them on an emotional level. They kind, it's like with the lily here, it's kind of weird because it's like they feel this emotional, intimate connection with you, but they feel as though you don't express that. So they feel, that's why it feels like this unrequited feelings, because they feel this closeness to you emotionally, but you don't express it. So it feels like they're kind of questioning themselves. Is this all in my head? Like, I feel this emotional draw to Scorpio, but Scorpio doesn't seem to feel that towards me. So it's like, but I feel it. So they're kind of just wanting some proof in the meantime that that it's really there, that it's not just in their head kind of thing, that you do feel this too. Okay, so that's what we have for you, Scorpio. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements, subscribe to the channel as well, and we will move on over to Sagittarius. Sagittarius, your person's true feelings towards you and this connection. Sagittarius, your person's feelings towards you and this connection. Stay optimistic. Positive thinking and faith will bring romance into your life. Okay, so this person has a lot of optimism about this connection. They, they feel as though they have so much faith and hope for this connection. They, they feel that there's reasons to hope that things will be amazing in the future for you here. Actions speak louder than words. If you want to know what someone is feeling, watch what they are doing. Okay, so they want you to actually pay attention a little bit more to the actions that they do take to try to show you that they have hope for this connection, because it's kind of like telling me here that this person is trying to show you in some way, look, Sagittarius, I'm here for the long term. I'm not going anywhere. You can trust me. You can be open with me. I want to do things for you. I feel like this person, they may have trouble expressing themselves verbally or whatnot, but they try to, they're very acts of service, do things for you. Like, oh, Sagittarius, I was at the grocery store and I picked up this chocolate that you like. I did the washing for us. It's kind of their way of trying to show you that, and especially too that it's like they're doing things that it's like trying to show you that I'm always going to do the dishes for us. I'll always, I hope that if I keep doing the dishes for you, that this will, you'll know that I'm going to do the dishes forever, kind of thing. They're trying to make changes for you as well. I feel that to show you that I'm in it for the long haul. It does feel like they are kind of wanting to. They're trying to show you that they are in it for the long haul in some kind of way. Sagittarius, your person's feelings towards you and this connection. I just feel like they struggle to verbalize. It's not that the emotions aren't there at all, but no. See, that's it's kind of partly you as well. I feel like you kind of play off each other a little bit here, Sagittarius. Firstly, we have the moon and the feminine energy both coming through there, strong feminine energy. So they do feel as though you are, strong and independent kind of feminine energy there. You're very intuitive, that what's what. That you follow your heart, that you're very you're very in connection to your own emotions. They kind of feel like you are all, you already know how they feel, kind of thing, but they're not saying it, if that makes sense. They're trying to show you that, but I feel like they're a little bit blocked about how they actually say that. But it kind of goes both ways here. We have the mountain there as well, which is, the card of blockages and obstacles and delays. So, it does feel as though you're mirroring each other quite heavily here, that you both are very action orientated, that you're both very, let's work, I'm focused, I'm perseverant, I'm determined to make things work really well. But it takes a while for me to, open up emotionally. And, it's kind of like this energy that you both think that the other one just knows how you feel about them, even if you don't verbalize it. It does feel very mirroring energy there. You both want to nurture and soften the connection, but neither of you kind of knows how. So it's very action, very action. If I show Sagittarius, if I do this for Sagittarius, that then they'll know that we can get through anything together because I'll do this for them. That kind of thing, that they're willing to put in the work, but they just don't know how to verbalize it. So it does, like, once again, I am really getting a strong long-term energy here. And, they do want to soften this connection, but I feel like they're trying to tell you, look, it's going to take a while. They're both of you seem to have some blockages about the emotional side of things, even though it feels like you both have that. And that's why there's a lot of faith and optimism here, because the actions are trying to speak louder than words on both sides. Like, once again, it's giving me a very mirroring kind of energy there. But you're more than welcome to check your other placements or cross-watch your person's placements as well. Make sure you subscribe, and we will move on over to our Capricorns. Okay, Capricorn, your person's true feelings towards you and this connection. Capricorn, your person's true feelings towards you and the connection. Interesting. Past lives coming through first here. You've known this person before. It's a soulmate from a past lifetime. So they feel as though they knew you before they met you. They feel very, very connected to you on a soul level. Like, Capricorn was, it's kind of like giving me Capricorn was destined to be mine because they were already mine. It's like when I met Capricorn, I already knew that they were mine, kind of energy. So, like, I already knew that this was my person because they have been my person before and they still are. Like, it's like that connection was never broken. And it's like when I met you, Capricorn, it was like it all made sense of why, because my heart was already promised to you, kind of thing. A very deep soul connection there. It's soul contract connection. It doesn't necessarily mean past lives together, but it's like a soul, like before we came into this world, we'd already agreed to be each other's soulmate, kind of thing. But we also have deception coming through. Someone is wearing a mask in this relationship, so it's just not really telling me whether that's this person or yourself. I did ask, their feelings towards you. So, highly likely that they do feel as though you're not being completely honest and open, truthful with who you really are and what you're really offering them here. It's kind of that energy of like, I am picking up a lot of self-doubt connected to that. So I dare say it would be that they're doubting that you are being truthful, that if Capricorn says to me, I love you, then I doubt that that's true because of my own issues, so they feel like, no, Capricorn must be lying. Why would they love me? Capricorn, like, it feels like they're like, Capricorn's too amazing. Why would they ever love me? It does feel like that a little bit, that they are the ones think that you are deceiving, that you're wearing a mask because of their own self-doubt. It's kind of what it feels like here, but we'll have a look with the lenormand as well. Capricorn, your person's true feelings towards you and this connection. Capricorn, they do really love you, I think. They're wanting this relationship to come out into the light, come out into the open. We have the sun followed by the ring here. Once again with the ring, it's like we've done this a million times before together, where I'm committed to you before I knew you. This is just another lifetime where we belong to each other. It does feel very like soul commitment, contracted to each other. There is a strong energy of soul contracts here. We do have the sun there as well. It's happiness. I feel like Capricorn makes me happy. It's quite simple, you know. But then we also have the tree, which is another strong divine energy coming through with the tree there as well. It's like, you know, this was part of, it's part of the tree of life energy coming through, that this is contracted. I'm committed to healing and growing so that this can continue its cycle. And that yes, we may have been lovers and soulmates in the past life, but I want us to be soulmates in the next life as well. There's a strong commitment over lifetimes coming through with the tree here, and that healing and growth. It does feel like the healing and growth does feel like it may be just this person feeling as though they need to grow and heal, because I am sort of getting here, Capricorn, that there is a little bit, it's not huge, but it's a little bit of an energy where they are kind of putting you up on a pedestal a little bit, where they feel as though they're not good enough, and that they have to grow and heal. As to whether that's the case or not, they're kind of like, I need to grow more, I need to heal more, I need to, learn how to look after myself better so that I can be equal to Capricorn, up there with Capricorn, kind of thing. But it's kind, with the tree, we also see references to the family tree, that they feel as though, you're one of their you're one of their branches. You belong together. I'm getting, it's a strong energy that, it's wise and wisdom and maturity. They do feel that you're wise and mature. Once again, I'm getting a lot of self-doubt from your person here, Capricorn. So that's what we've got for you. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements, cross-watch the person's placements as well. And we will move on over to Aquarius. So make sure you do subscribe to the channel. Okay, moving on to Aquarius. Aquarius, your person's true feelings towards you and this connection. Aquarius, your person's feelings towards you and this connection. New love. A new chapter begins, whether it is with a new partner or in a current relationship. We also have boundaries coming through here, Aquarius. You need to teach people how to treat you by being clear on what you will or you will not allow. So this is kind of going both ways here, Aquarius, that for some of you, this person is feeling like they want a brand new chapter with you, taking into account boundaries that have been put in place. So whether that is their boundaries that have been crossed in the past or your boundaries that have been crossed in the past, somebody here is, looking for a new chapter, trying to, okay, well, let's try again with these new boundaries in place. Whereas for others of you, there's kind of no going back here, and this person feels like it's just not going to work with Aquarius. I need to find somebody else, and take that as a lesson, kind of thing, the boundaries issue as a lesson. So once again, it's not telling me whether you crossed a boundary or they did. Someone has put up some boundaries here, and it's kind of like, then I'm not putting up with this anymore. They're not putting up with that anymore. And whether that's, we're going to try again, taking that into account, or whether we're going to go, okay, well, that's not working, so we'll go somewhere new altogether. It's kind of going both ways. Some of you it's one, and for others of you it's the other. So take it as it resonates for your situation. Aquarius, your person's feelings towards you and this connection. It's kind of like some of them have lost hope, put it that way, whereas others of them are willing to take it on board, learn the lesson, and try again, taking that on board. but firstly, we have the fox. So, but this person is feeling like they need to be selfish in this situation, feeling as though they need to break free from this situation. We have the scythe there as well. That we have the tower coming through after that as well. So some of it's kind of mixed messages for all of you here, to be honest. It's giving me quite a lot of different messages here. So for some of you, they're feeling like the foundation has been broken too severely, so that change needs to happen one way or another, because the foundation has been broken. The boundaries have been crossed. The foundation has been broken. So can we rebuild a brand new foundation? Unsure. Others of you, we're leading to a sudden breakaway here because of that foundational issue. Because changes aren't happening fast enough for us. Some of you here, they do feel as though it's like it feels like some of them here, Aquarius, is like they're going to talk the talk and walk the walk, but out of nowhere, very suddenly, we realize that the foundation was not fixed. And they're kind of like just talking the talk. They're not necessarily, it's not actual change, that it's like they just do what they have, they're just saying what they have to say to get what they want out of the situation, whereas they're not actually, it's like they're not actually respecting that boundary that you've put up here, Aquarius, that they're actually kind of still disregarding that, and they're just saying what they need to say to get around that. And for others of you, they feel like this is what you're doing, that you are a little bit focused on yourself and doing what you need to do, saying what you need to say. So it feels like, somebody here feels like somebody is playing games a little bit, playing mind games here, just getting what they want out of the situation, pretending that those boundaries are being taken into consideration, but, it feels like that's something that it's going to be seen through very quickly, and it's going to lead to isolation from this person. So, some of you, it's not permanent isolation for some of you. For some of you, it's just isolation, like needing to take some time apart and really think things through and kind of like wait and see if that person is really actually going to take that into consideration and actually rebuild the foundation or not. But it's going either way. For some of you, it is going to work out in the long run, but not majority of you, to be honest. Majority of you, I feel like there's a breaking free from this energy. It's breaking free from doing what we need to do to keep the situation together, to isolation, moving into isolation territory here, where when we have the isolation territory, that's very strong boundaries. It's like a defense tower around ourselves. So I feel like for a lot of you, it's you that they feel is the one that has these solid brick walls around you, that you're kind of like Rapunzel up in the tower and you're not letting them close. And they're kind of saying what they need to say. They're saying, Rapunzel, let down your hair. But there just seems to be something just disingenuine. So whether that, pardon, whether it's them that's being a little bit, disingenuous, or whether they feel that way about you, that you're just not being entirely truthful about growing and being willing to change and being willing to take these boundaries into consideration and whatnot. It does feel like for a majority of you, new love is more so on the horizon than this particular person. Sorry if that's not what you wanted to hear, Aquarius, but that's what we have for you today. And then the hidden energy on the bottom of the deck, we have the bear as well, which is another very strong defensive energy, very boundaries kind of related energy, and then trouble behind that, fighting over our boundaries, and someone's on the defense against the other. It's just not necessarily conducive to moving forward with each other, unfortunately, Aquarius. But you're more than welcome to check your other placements or cross-watch their placements and see what's coming out on the other side there. But subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to Pisces. Pisces, your person's true feelings towards you and this connection. Pisces, your person's true feelings towards you and the connection. Third party situation. Other people may be interfering with this relationship and dimming its full potential. That may not necessarily be a person either, taking your focus, Pisces. This person feels as though you have other things in your life that are taking from this connection. So you're more focused on work, you're more focused on your friends, or for some of you, this may actually be like a poly type situation where they feel as though you're focusing more on those things than them. It does feel, if that's the case for you and you are in like a poly type situation, it does feel as though your person is ready to sort of lock it down to a monogamous kind of thing. I feel like they are feeling as though your attention is not where they would personally, it feels like their attention is on you 100%, but your attention is scattered on multiple things. You might have 50% focus on work, 30% focus on, doing your hobbies, and then that leaves them with only 20% focus on the relationship for them, whereas they've got 100% focus on the connection. So we do see the taking a leap of faith card as well. Only when you're willing to step out of your comfort zone will you reap great rewards. So once again, they are really wanting you to take a leap of faith, to take a chance on just them. Once again, I keep getting this poly message, or it's like this person, I'm kind of picking up here, Pisces, that you may be seeing other people, but they are not. They are very monogamous, and they're realizing that, you may be in some sort of poly situation, but they're realizing that they are not actually poly. They are monogamous. So they're wanting you to take a leap of faith and get out of your comfort zone and try the monogamy thing and see how we go. I just keep getting that same message very specifically. So I don't know who that's for. But Pisces, your person's feelings towards you and this connection. Pisces, your person's feelings towards you and this connection. Kind of like, yeah, you Pisces, you've got your eyes everywhere else except for this person, and they've only got eyes for you. Yeah, they're wanting commitment. We have the moon coming through first. They do feel very drawn to you. That's like a very magnetized energy, a very, emotional. They have a lot of emotions towards you in this connection. They feel very drawn to this connection to you, Pisces. Like the moon, as we know, controls the tides, and that's what they feel as though their whole life depends on you, kind of thing. That if Pisces is having a good day, I'm having a good day. If Pisces is having a bad day, well, I'm right on board with them. supporting them kind of thing. It's a very supportive attraction energy. Feel very spiritually connected to you as well. We do have the garden here as well. They're wanting it to, and followed by the ring. So they're wanting this to be a public relationship that, they want it to be publicly a commitment between the two of you. They're wanting to come out into the open as Pisces and me, full stop. No one else, no other eyes anywhere else. The garden is also, getting on the same page, meeting, compromising, meeting each other in the middle, and spending a lot more time together, doing things together, and that sort of stuff as well. Getting out and about, being public and sociable together, doing things together, going on dates, that kind of thing. The ring, contracts, commitments, they it feels like they've already. It's like I'm hearing the phrase, I've already contracted myself to you, Pisces. I'm just waiting for you to commit to that as well. So it's a very specific message there. So it's not necessarily for everybody. You're more than welcome to check other placements. Obviously, it is a collective reading. So if that does resonate for you in your situation, awesome. If not, check another placement, your moon placement. Your Venus placement is a good one for love readings, or cross-watch your person's placement. Okay, but that's what we have for you today. Make sure you do subscribe, and I will see you all again soon.